It's one of the good old classic tracks that have been a staple in the F1 calendar. It is fan favorite and it is driver favorite. Welcome for the Japanese Grand Prix here in Suzuka for the 10th round of Season 4 in Sunday League F1. This track right here and this round, it is a crucial track in the calendar for a couple of reasons I am gonna talk about in a few moments. As we now can see, we are here in full qualifying. Q1 has started, 17 drivers. I think we should be 18 later on, but I'm not sure. But still, 17 cars, so quite almost a full grid. So I'm sure we will see plenty of action. And well, Japan. A classic track, a track that has been for multiple years in Formula 1. A lot of drivers love it. I love it as well. Not exactly my favorite, but one of my favorites. And although it is quite difficult to pass, it has always produced great racing in the game and in its real life history as well. And obviously the most important factor is that a lot of championships have been decided around here in this track. For many years, this was the season finale, so the last track that was featured in the calendar for many seasons. Or if it wasn't the last one, if it was like Abu Dhabi or Brazil, still here in Suzuka, many championships were decided. And about championships, this could also happen here in the game because we are approaching the end of Season 4. It is just 3 rounds left to the end of the first season we are doing on F1 24. And very important news for the Drivers' Championship. Gerbal is leading with 164 points. Noah is still in P2 with 128 points. And well, you can crucially see that Noah is not here again. He DNF'd once and has missed the 2 races, 3 races including this one, so that's 4 rounds with 0 points, and obviously that had a massive impact on the Driver Championship, so massive that Gerbal could actually mathematically win the championship today. The gap is at 36 points. And with 3 rounds left, with no sprint format, Gerbal, to mathematically get the championship today, he needs to get at least P2. Because if he gets P3, there is still like 1 point of difference that could actually mathematically still give the championship to Noah. If Gerbal gets P3 with the fastest lap, Noah could still win on comeback if they tie up on points. So if Gerbal gets at least P2, doesn't matter if he gets the fastest lap or not, he is officially crowned as a 4-time world champion and still the only world champion yet in this league, absolutely dominating the previous 3 on F1 23, so he can get a number 4 in F1 24, but we'll see that tonight. But I can't say the same about the constructors, because as we thought at the start of the season that it would have been a very tight battle with Red Bull and Ferrari, actually with Noah missing now 3 races and retiring in 1, with 128 points, and then his teammate Japo with not exactly a great season, just 17 points, so massive gap between the 2 Ferrari teammates. This has actually allowed Williams to get P2 after the last race in Singapore. Reese and Aiden Jones, with their extremely solid and consistent performances, were actually good enough to get P2, and guess what? They are in a very close fight for the championship, because Gerbal obviously doing a massive job leading the driver standings, but actually he has been without a Red Bull teammate for quite a lot of time now, so he's carrying the team by his own, which obviously puts him at a great disadvantage compared to the two extremely solid Williams drivers. So we might actually get a Gerbil Drivers Champion but a Williams Constructors Champion. So this round right here will be extremely decisive to see which of these two teams will get the upper hand tonight, and also in the 2 rounds that will be after this one. So extremely close fights and possibly champions tonight. So we are here for a very exciting Japanese Grand Prix, which, like I said, has always been exciting during its history. So I am sure it will be, I'm sure it won't be different this time around. So after this introduction to the championship, I actually forgot to mention Jaden is not commentating here, so I am once again by myself streaming for the race. And actually, to be fair, I'm not sure if Jaden will come back later on in the season, so I might actually have to commentate the last 2 races by myself, which is a shame. But I mean, someone must do it, so I'm here to do that, and hopefully I can stream back with Jaden as soon as possible, so you can get to listen to your favorite commentator duo again. But right now it's your favorite commentator solo as of now. So anyway, I was about to mention full qualifying. Q1 has started about 8 minutes ago, and right now it is Cam with the fastest lap. It obviously doesn't matter now, because the only thing you care about right now is getting into the top 14 or 13. Actually, it's always quite tricky when there's not 20 drivers. But still, your best interest now is to just get a good enough lap to get to Q2, which obviously won't be a problem for the midfield runners and the top runners. It's obviously a much tighter fight between the back markers. And so now Cam's fastest lap is 1:28.7. We can see that in the standings, and 28.7 now. Also considering the times we saw in in practice earlier, I think pole position will be somewhere around mid 28s, or actually more like low 28s, because the drivers will eventually push a lot more later on. So I'm setting a low 28 as a pole position target. But we are gonna see that in Q3, so still plenty of time left. As now Allenby in Haas gets the provisional fastest time with a 1:28.6, exactly 1/10 faster than Cam. Allenby and Cam also, there have been very close drivers during the season. There have been many instances where they were very close during races. And I mean, they still are in the standings, because Allenby is now in P5 with 77 points and Cam in P8 with 66 points, fighting with Aiden for P7, soon to be P6, because they still have to virtually overtake King Kali, who retired long ago. So yeah, and also, I mean, I cannot not mention the amazing battle we had in Monza at the Mystery Grand Prix for the win between Allenby and Cam. Cam won it on track, but then lots of penalties applied and he was demoted all the way down to P10, with Allenby actually getting the win. And it was a beautiful Grand Prix, and so I hope I can commentate like that again at some point. In the meanwhile, Aiden Jones has put the fastest lap with a 28.2, which is already a low 28, which actually might set a new target for pole position, actually now considering even high 27s, if we can see pace improvements like this. So it just shows how quick lots of drivers here are actually in this league. There's consistently many drivers being equal, or if not equal, very close on pace, always producing great racing and great results and lots of action, and we absolutely love to see it. 7 minutes left before the first qualifying session ends, and right now the only drivers with no lap times are Bebino Hormi, currently on outlap, Gerbal pushing on the inters, and I mean probably it was just a warm-up lap, maybe to try setups and stuff like that, and obviously you don't want to use a set of softs if you're not actually pushing. So now he's back into the pits, and he will eventually put the slicks and try to set a lap time good enough to be somewhere in the top 12 or 13, or we don't know, as Baby Hermes still in the V-Carb still needs to set a lap. And now also the slowest time registered, it is from U Division in P15 at the moment, 3.2 seconds of Aiden Jones, so it's 1:31.4, and also with quite a big gap from Max ahead of him. There's 1.2 seconds between the Aston Martin of Max and the Alpine of U Division, so I reckon U Division might have made some significant mistake that lost him some time, and I think we'll get confirmation of that soon, as we can now see the Alpine about to start a new lap into Q1, and probably the last lap he will set. 5 minutes and a half left. There might actually not be enough time to go back into the pits and set another one. We'll see if he rushes things. Maybe he can actually make it. So finishing sector 1, improving by 2, almost 3 tenths, which is still very off Max, so maybe his mistake was somewhere around here in sector 2, probably at the hairpin. Hairpin is a crucial corner to get right, both with trail braking and also traction on the exit, and also lines. You actually can attempt different lines through here. There is some banking, not so much, but there's definitely some, so you can actually try and like hang it more towards the outside line. It works for some drivers, but it also depends on the setup and stuff like that. But now in the meanwhile, improving by 6 tenths after sector 2, which still will set him in P15, so maybe the significant mistake was here at the chicane. We'll see in just a moment. Will U Division get into Q2? Probably not, as he improves by 6 tenths and a half, but he's still 5 tenths off Max in P14, and if he wants to have another shot, he might need to go back into the pits quite soon, as now a V-Carb Bebino Hermi set it up, P13 for now. It is at risk because Gerbal still needs to set a lap time. He's about to effectively start one right now, his only lap of Q1, so it might not be good news for Bebino Hermi, as he risks to get knocked out, and we can see Gerba sliding a lot, and also with a lot of dirt on his floor, so might have been on the gravel or on the grass too much, because it's very dirty. Oh, and there is the V-Carb ahead of him, but gets out of the way very nicely just before the hairpin. A slight lockup from Gerbal, which is something that can lose you time. It's definitely something you want to avoid to get the perfect line through the hairpin. But we'll see in just a moment where the 3-time world champion, and probably 4, sets himself in his only run in Q1, and with a very fast time after sector 2 with a 1:11.2, and now approaching the chicane. And onto the last corner, the Red Bull will be, I mean, was it was it something we didn't expect from Gerbal to get the fastest lap in his banker and also doing some rallying as some sort of celebration? Which actually might explain why his car was so dirty. But yes, it is Gerbal on not exactly pole position, but with the fastest Q1 time, with actually a low 27. He has beaten the target I predicted. So this actually means we might even get mid 27s. I am actually not sure, but yeah, it just shows so much pace from the Red Bull driver, as he is now the only one to be into the 27s, as he's drifting through the entire S section. And there is a McLaren on the way. It is Tate, reserve driver for McLaren, and the Red Bull is not in his way, as the McLaren now is pushing through the end of the S section to try and get access to Q2, and right now he doesn't, because he's down by 2/10, so not optimal. He definitely made some mistakes somewhere during the very fast S's. So we'll see after the hairpin if he can find more time. And now approaching the spoon. Currently, I think he's about 4/10 of the knockout zone. So if he can find that amount of time, then he should be good to go. And Gerbal has been disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. Gerbal, by spinning so much, through the S section, has actually been disqualified and is being demoted all the way down to P17. The three-time world champion, I'm not sure if it was intentional or not, but he will start from the back of the grid. He was definitely the fastest driver, and he will start from way back in P17. And again, I'm not sure if he did that on purpose to try and spice up things a little, but unexpectedly Gerbal is down in P17, and this actually brought some back marker in Q2. I'm not sure if it's Baby No Hurt or Rooster who gets ahead. Quaxel is just slightly ahead of Rooster, and Youngest Harvey is just slightly ahead of Quaxel. Harvey is definitely safe. Quaxel, I think, as well. Not sure about Rooster, because once again, I don't know the elimination numbers, how many drivers get knocked out when we are just 17 in full qualifying. So there we go. Q1 it has handed. Aiden Jones technically is the fastest after Gerbal's disqualifying. And actually only Gerbal and U-Division are knocked out, so it's the top 15 good enough to get into Q2. U-Division knocked out by 7/10 of Tate, reserving for McLaren. The McLaren gets ahead in P15, and then Baby Hermie, Rooster, Quaxel and Youngest Harv right ahead. So yeah, I actually thought many more drivers will get eliminated. So we are now into 15, and the bottom 5 will definitely be knocked out. But again, I'm still thinking about Gerbal getting disqualified, and yeah, well, it will be interesting because I mean, Suzuka is definitely a technical track. It is difficult to overtake. it is not exactly that large in terms of width, on the asphalt. It can definitely feel quite narrow at times. But again, it's not a track where you need like Monaco or Singapore levels of downforce. You actually can trim your wings by quite a lot. And I'm not talking about the wing gaps between front and rear. I'm talking about the overall level of downforce. You need quite some downforce, but again, not that much. Because you have two very important straights you need to maximize. The one before 130R and obviously the main one with the DRS. So we might see actually some drivers getting like using slightly lower wings to make things easier for themselves during the straights, so he can actually get some overtake done, because once again it is difficult around here. So we might see, well, it is quite important actually to get the balance right between cornering and straight line speed. And what was my point? Gerbal starting from last, he's definitely one of the quickest driver, if not the quickest around here, but he still needs to recover a lot of positions in a track where, again, it is not that easy. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for him, but also fun in some way, because if you just watch one car just cutting his way through the entire field with a massive pace advantage, and maybe he just wants to see how big of a comeback he can make as well, his drivers' championship. Once again, it is almost pretty much confirmed, but obviously math is what decides the championship. So if it's not today, maybe it will be next week. We'll see. So Q2 has started from a couple of minutes now, and Reese in the Williams is the first one to settle up, taking lots of curb through the Dagner curves, through the Dagner corners, and again, Reese's performance as well as Aiden will be very, very crucial, because every point they can gain on Red Bull, it will play a massive role in the Constructors' Championship battle. So obviously the two of them will try to get the best performance they can, and they already showed that multiple times how good they actually can drive and get good results for themselves and the team. So Reese with the first lap is at 12.0 after sector 2, and we'll see just after the chicane, after the Casio triangle, that's his official name. It's at 28.8 for the first lap of Q2, and many drivers behind him. Yeah, Haas of Rooster, 29.3. Falcon fastest, 28.5. Aiden Jones fastest, 28.4. Now there is a Ferrari, youngest Sarve. With I can't do the math. I want to keep the gaps like this. So Mercedes of Cam. Well, this is easy. It's at 28.6. Then there is another Merc, but he's starting. Bibin Hermie, currently P7. There is the two Saubers of Peter and Flanken. Peter, who actually made quite a big comeback. I mean, he missed quite a lot of races and then came back in Singapore last week with a very, very good drive and very, very good and important points for Sauber. He actually got the driver of the day, and he's currently in P5, so he's not looking bad at all. Definitely looking forward to be, if not exactly a top runner, then maybe best of the rest, which is still a very respectable position in this highly competitive grid. So now what do we have? We have the two Aston Martins, so Quaxel and Max, who are looking actually decent with P6 and P7. I mean, I've been hoping for the last couple of races that Aston Martin got their stuff together, actually scoring some points, but it just kept getting bad results, one right after another, and just consistently staying in P10 and not exactly gaining on Sauber. So P6 and P7, they will definitely be happy about that one, and they will obviously hope they can convert it into actual good points. So we'll see. So who else do we have? We have Flanken and Allenby with no lap time yet, and this lowest lap time is from Tate, 28.9, maybe a 30.0, considering these gaps. So just needs to find a couple of tenths to actually be ahead of Babylon Hormy later on into the session. As you can see now, the McLaren back into the pits. We have Max into the pits, Kielander as well, definitely into the pits, he's down by 9 tenths, Quaxel as well, so no one is pushing. And I think the first one to do so will Allenby. Allenby will finally set a lap time, the first Q2 run for the Haas with 8 minutes left, so still plenty of time. But again, you cannot afford to lose too much time on the out lap and the in lap if you want to set another hot lap at the end of Q2. But now we can see the Haas going around the S section. It's a very, very fast section and very, very technical. It is crucial to get every single corner right in that sector right there, because if you just slightly mess up your line through even one corner, then you just miss all of the apexes for the entirety of the S section just by getting one corner wrong, and then obviously lap time will be massively impacted by doing so. So that section right there, it's very important for the lap, and very important to see. I mean, it's the section where arguably pole position is decided, but I mean, even Degner, the hairpin, the spoon, every single corner is so hard to get right, and all of them matter for pole position. Did Falcon do his lap on old or new softs? Asks Aiden. Let me see. Falcon best one lap, so new softs. Falcon did his lap on new softs. Yeah, he's now into the pits selecting fresh softs, and he did that with again fresh softs earlier. So I'm not sure if as a commentator I should be allowed to do some assistance, like if I'm being secretly employed by Williams. Well, I'm not, but I mean, I don't want to like be accused of Spygate or something like it was in 2007. I just wasn't sure because I didn't know the run. Okay. But it's still Aiden on, not on pole, with the fastest lap, just 1 tenth ahead of Falcon. Yo, Mr. God, Riz, once again, thank you for the shout out. So let's see, who else do we have? Babylon Hormy, he's improving by 1 tenth after the hairpin. Hello King, hello Falcon. So we are currently watching the V-Carb. Keep up with the Gothic commentary, thank you very much Aiden. We'll go back to see the lap times of Babylon Hormy improving by almost 4 tenths, which will put him up into P11 maybe, if he finds even more time. Gabri going solo. We will be there. We will be there indeed, Riz. I hope I don't go solo for the rest of the season. But anyway, Bevin Hermi improves by 4/10. Now currently into P10, just 1,000 of a second faster than Rooster. But 4 minutes and a half left, more or less. He should definitely be quick into the pit lane if he wants another run, because right now he's through, he can get into Q2, but it might be tight because Rooster just needs to literally find the 2,000 of a second to get himself into the top 10 and in the next qualifying session. But right now, as it stands, Rooster, Sneaky reserving for V-Carb, Flanken, Youngest Saver reserving for Ferrari, and Tate reserving for McLaren. These 5 are the ones for the moment knocked out of Q2. As we can see, the top runners retiring into the pits as they're fairly confident they will get through. But we'll see what can the bottom 5 do. Tate actually going quite a lot on the grass on the exit of the hairpin, so I'm not exactly sure that's optimal for lap time. I don't think it is, but we will get conventional. Ooh, massive snap oversteer in the spoon, and he hits the wall. There is a wing flying off. Yes, wing damage for the McLaren, and if he rushes back into the pits, I still think he has time to do another run, but he definitely needs to stop spinning if he wants to do so. But yeah, just sending it too much through the spoon. I think he might have touched the curb on the inside and got a snap oversteer and corrected it into the right side and hit in the wall. And now that I think about it, the curbs are a very big deal around Suzuka, because even with soft suspensions, which is quite important to have in the setup, you want absolutely soft suspensions around here. Like, even if there are many fast corners in sequence, right, one after another, you need to take a lot of curb to get the best line possible. And even with the soft suspensions, the curbs are still very, very unsettling. They definitely can unsettle your car and make you spin in an instant if you're not careful enough. And I think that's what might have happened with Tate. Kielander, in the meanwhile, sets the fastest lap of Q2 with a 28.3 and definitely gains access to Q3. Youngest Sarver in the Ferrari is about to start one, his last lap of Q2. We'll see if the Ferrari is good enough to find those 4/10 to get through, to get past and gain access to Q3. And we see right now around the S section, crucial section to get right. You cannot miss any apex, you cannot afford any mistake around here, and that's what makes Suzuka such a difficult and technical track for the true elite drivers. And Youngest Saver with a massive improvement, 5/10.5, so he definitely might have had some oversteer at one corner during the S section, and yes, the improvement in the lap time is massive, so I think Youngest Saver is off to a good one to get into Q3. And we'll see in just a moment around the spoon, that's where Tate made his mistake earlier. Youngest Saver doesn't, gets a very, very good exit out of the spoon, and you absolutely don't want to be about here on the straight that leads into 130R, but he actually lost some time in sector 2. He's barely down 5/10 of improvements. I still think will be enough. Rooster in the meanwhile sets himself into P10, but he might actually get demoted to P11. Youngest Sarver goes into P8. And just 1,000 faster than Quaxel. Rooster right now is knocked out. Ironbike goes fastest of everyone. Baby No Hermes starts now. So Rooster is done. Rooster, I think is knocked out. Yes, Rooster is officially out. Baby don't hurt me, we will see. Sneaky as well. 8 tenths, improving by 8 tenths, massive improvement from the V-Carb. He's off to get P3. Very, very fast lap, improving by 1 second, and knocks Max out of Q2. So right now the drivers that won't get through are Max and Rooster, Sate as well. Flanken I think will get through. He's improving by 9 tenths. He just needs to get the Casio triangle chicane right. And we see the Sauber across the finish line with a 28.6 up into P7, and knocks Quaxel as well out of Q2. The two Aston Martins, despite their decent laps, I mean the best of the midfield, they are still out of Q2. P11 for Quaxel and P12 for Max at most, because Rooster into the gravel, but we still need to see Baby Hermie what he can sell, what he's able to do, and he's able to improve by 5 tenths and a half. So massive improvements from a lot of drivers as the V-Carb goes into P8, improving by 7 tenths and just 3 tenths lower than his reserve teammate, knocking out the youngest Harv as well. So Baby Hermie goes out of the knockout zone, while younger Sav, Quaxel, Max, Rooster and Sate stay into the bottom 5. They will not get access to Q3. So that's Q2 officially done. These are the official results. So we will start Q3 in just a moment, in just a couple of minutes. And Peter gets through as well in P10, just 2 tenths faster than youngest Sarv, right behind him, and it's the Ferrari who gets the worst and actually gets eliminated. So I think we're just waiting on Rooster to cross the line or to just get back into the pits. Yes, we're waiting only on him. Haas is back into the pits, and I think we'll get the loading screen in just a moment. We still don't, we still need to wait for the V-Carb of Baby Don't Hurt Me. Again, who are we waiting? Why is the game taking so long? Do you just need to wait for the countdown? Yeah, I think we do. Because there's no way the Aston Martin will get over the line. I think that they're just on AI, but I mean, it's still annoying why the game takes so much time. Okay, so finally, there we go. Q2 is now officially done, and we will go over the results once again. And there we go. Allen by fastest overall, Kielander in P2, then we have Sneaky, Aiden Jones, Falcon, Cam, Flank, and Baby Hermie, Reese and Peter. They get access to Q3. Who doesn't get access are youngest Haru, Quaxel, Max, Rooster and Sate, starting the race respectively in P11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. So, 2 seconds now, and Q3 is finally about to start. And we can have a very, very close battle for pole position, especially considering Gerbal is not there attempting last two, we don't know how further into the grid. Once again, it is just P2 that he needs to mathematically get the championship, but we'll see. Now it's just too early to try and do some predictions. So yes. 12 minutes, the clock has already started ticking. The 10 drivers left are ready for this Q3. And we see Reese being the first one to get out on track. And right behind him we can also see the McLaren of Falcon, the Sauber of Peter as well, the Mercedes of Kielander. and slowly everyone else will be out of the pits and ready to set a competitive lap for pole position. I think there are a lot of drivers who can charge for pole position, the likes of Reese, Cam, Falcon, Aiden Jones, maybe even Kielander and Allenby. The rest is just, I mean, like the consistent, very fast drivers, apart from Gerbal, are these four: Reese, Cam, Falcon, and Aiden Jones. The others just like they go back and forth into being best of the rest or best of the midfield or straight up top runners. So just that little bit of consistency they need in pace, but are still fast nonetheless. So I still think will be off to a very close fight for pole position. We will stay on board with the race because he's the first one on track and will be the first one to set up, so we can do some proper commentating for a qualifying lap here around Suzuka, around this beautiful track. We will enable the telemetry, and with the Williams driver, here we go for a lap around Suzuka. DRS just before the starting line, and now onto the main straight, overtake enabled, and now into turn 1, flat out and braking into turn 2, slightly missing the apex and taking as much grab as you can on the exit. Now flat out into 3 and now 4, the section continues into 5 and now into 6, staying in 5th, and now flat out through turn 7 through the Dunlop curve, and now finishing sector 1 with a 32.0. now into Degner. I think he was flat out of the first Degner, now into third gear for the second Degner curve, and now braking into the hairpin from 6th to 3rd, staying all the way to the inside in the case of Reese, and now accelerating as early as possible to get the best exit and to be fast just before the spoon curve into turn 13 and 14 as well, taking a lot of curb on the exit of both 13 and 14. And now you need to fly past this straight just before 130R, finishing sector 2 with a 111.9, flat out into 130R, a legendary corner, and now into the KT triangle, the last chicane, staying in third gear, taking a lot of curb, and now stay to the inside as much as you can for the last corner. DRS before the line, 28.7, but I don't think will be the fastest lap because we have Falcon, we are 27.9, a very fast lap from the McLaren and probably on pole position. Peter is in P2, 28.5, and who else do we have? Kielander, we are 28.9, actually at 29.0. Then Franken with well, I can just do the math now, but 1.6 seconds off Falcon, provisionally into P5. Who else needs to cross the line? I think it is, yes, Allenby about to cross the line for this first running Q3. Stays all the way to the inside the DRS and provisionally P3 and actually P4, because now Cam goes into P2 with a 28.1. There is also the V-carb of Sneaky, 28.4. P3 currently for Sneaky. Aiden Johnson Williams, right after the exit of the Castle Triangle, actually goes back into the pits, so might have made a mistake somewhere, wasn't happy exactly with that lap. Baby Hormy across the finish line in P9, slowest lap time out of all, with a 29.6 I think I saw. And now Aiden Johnson stays in P10 because he didn't finish his first lap. 7 minutes left on the clock. Falcon is on provisional pole position with a high 27, just as I predicted. So I think will be somewhere around there with the actual pole position time. But yeah, as I predicted, Falcon and Cam looking very strong. Sneaky as well. Sneaky showing actually good pace, so the reserve driver for Ricciardo will definitely be happy about that one. At least for now, P3 for now, but everything can change in just the blink of an eye in Formula 1. Peter is in P4, Allenby in P5, Reese In P6 in Kjelander, the first driver to be 1 second off pole position, currently in P7. Flanking in P8, 6 tenths off Kjelander. Babin Hormy just 1 tenth behind in P9. Eddie Jones made a mistake, wasn't happy with that lap, came back into repeats, no lap time set, so provisional P10 for the Williams. And he's actually gonna be the first driver to get a second run in Q3, and I'm actually not sure if he's gonna want to set a third run, because it's also a situation that depends on tires, how many fresh softs you have, because you have to manage all 3 sessions, Q1, 2, and 3, so it's going to be crucial if you want to actually use old tires or new tires, if you used all of the new ones earlier on in qualifying. So strategy matters even in qualifying. When it's full. When it's short, there isn't exactly a lot. Maybe just the choice of going out for a third run or not, if you want if you want fresh softs on the race. But that's the most strategy you do on show qualifying. In full, it's more complete, more dynamic. There are many more choices. So 4 minutes and a half left on the clock, and Aiden Jones is on fresh softs to start his first Q3. I mean, to his second attempt to actually set his first run in Q3. And going into the first corner, and it looked like a very good one. And now into the S section. Actually taking a lot of curb, despite what his teammate did earlier, actually not taking quite a lot on the inside. And now into turn 7, the Dunlop curve. A very fast corner in qualifying. It's always satisfying to do that flat out, but in the race you have to be careful, because you might get wheel spin all of a sudden, and then you spin and your race is over. In the meanwhile, Aiden Jones set out 31.6 after sector 1, which is a very good first split. So Aiden Jones, I think he's on the run to be at least in the top 4. We'll see in just a moment. He's around the spoon, and now on the exit. We'll see after sector 2 if his provisional lap time is good enough to challenge for pole position. It's an 11.2, which is very fast, and also much quicker than his teammate. I think we actually are witnessing a lap that can challenge for pole position. 3 minutes on the clock. Aiden Jones staying on the inside. 27.8. Provisional pole position for Aiden Jones, as he had to abort his previous attempt, but now goes back on track to show as now is the fastest on the grid, challenging Falcon to actually get the P1 on the grid. And I don't think Aiden Jones will have enough time to set another lap. So P1 is the best he can get, but Falcon will obviously go out on track to challenge him as fiercely as he can. And once again, qualifying can matter quite a lot here in Suzuka, as it can be a race that can be decided purely on strategy and tire wear. Undercut works massively around here, so if you can get past on track with the overtake, then you might actually attempt something with tire wear and strategy to get an undercut and be faster with lap time. And also if you can manage traffic good enough. So it's definitely a tough situation for the drivers if they want to maximize results, because once again they will have to sweat quite a lot if they want to get some overtakes done. Everybody's on the outlap apart from Aiden Jones, who is back into the pits and will not be out on track to set another one. So that's his definitive lap time of the session. 1 minute 27 seconds and 839 thousandths of a second. This is the lap time that Felkan needs to beat if he wants pole position around here. Japo is joined in the meanwhile, and he won't have enough time to settle up in Q3, so he will start at the back of the grid. And Felkan has just started. He just needs to find 106 thousandths of a second during the course of his lap. Stays in 6, downshifts into 5, snap oversteer second curve. He might have compromised his line and overall speed during the downlap curve. Now into 7, does improve after sector 1? No, he doesn't. He sets at 31.6, same as Aiden Jones, but being down by 42 thousandths. So slightly suboptimal after sector 1. Hairpin will definitely be a crucial corner to get right, with a bit of a lockup though on the front left, in second and short shifting into third, and now exiting out of the hairpin in 7th gear, and now into the spoon, 6th, 5, actually goes back into 6th, so a bit undecisive on the gears there, trying to get the best exit possible. But now maybe his energy won't be enough through the straight. He's down by almost 2 tenths. I think Felkan made too many mistakes on his lap. He might actually not be able to change for pole position. Another lockup. I think he aborted his lap. I don't think he's pushing as much. It's 26, 7. Oh, he just crashed. He just massively crashed into the inside wall on the last corner. I don't know if that was intentional or not. But yeah, but luckily everyone is ghosting. So Felkan not able to challenge for the pole position. But what about Cam? Because he's now the closest one to be able to do so. It's a 25, 26, 27 across the line. It is P2 for Cam, just 68 thousandths. Just 68 thousandths of pole position in P2, and knocks out Felkan in P3. And Allenby very very close to the McLaren, sets at 27.9, good enough for P4, and qualifying is officially over. We now have the official results, and I'm gonna go through them in just a moment. And it is Aiden Jones on pole position here around Suzuka, with Cam just 69 thousandths off in P2, locking out the front row. It's a Swedish top 5 except for pole position, with Felkan in P3, Allenby in P4, Kielandro in P5, Pizzer in P6, Flanken in P7, Sneaky in P8, Reese in P9, and Baby Hormy rounds off the top 10 with a 28.7, 9 tenths of pole position. These are the official results, and well, just as I predicted, many drivers challenging for pole, very very similar pace wise, high 27s as I predicted. But now this is where everything matters. Every corner matters, every lap matters. You cannot afford to make mistakes around here. It is not a street track, but definitely difficult. Like if it was a street track, you need to stay very consistent, get the strategy right. Race pace needs to be good, otherwise you just be a boat through the straights and the corners. So drivers are on full focus for this Japanese Grand Prix. So that's why we're off to great racing around here for this 10th round. On the last quarter of the season that we're now approaching, and now we are on to the start. 5 red lights, they are on, and now it's lights out, and away we go for the Japanese Grand Prix. Aiden Jones gets a good start and immediately tries to block Cam, as Felkan and Cam, they already go side by side through Zone 1, battling for that P2, and Kielandro and Allenby staying P4 and 5. Oh, and Felkan and Cam actually making contact with some slight wheel banging through someone. There is already yellow flags. Riz has been spun around. He's down all the way into P18. Kieran with a move on the inside of his teammate through turn 7. He is now into P3. The grid is extremely close to one another. Moves are being made left, right and center. Univision going off track onto the gravel, as well as the Aston Martin. I think it was Max or no. The midfield is battling quite a lot. Many cars are going, actually they're not going side by side through the hairpin. There is the House of Rooster ghosting for some reason and wheel banging throughout the entire bottom of the field, and Riza has already caught up to Max just ahead of him. Aaron Jones has defended the pole position brilliantly, already 6/10 of Falcon just behind him, and Mercedes locking out P3 and P4 as it stands, but Allenby is actually almost having a look around the outside of 130R, but it's gonna happen later on. But actually might we see some side by side through 130R as Max gets overtaken by 2 cars at once into the same corner, and now Riz and Jappo actually in the Red Bull for some reason. I don't know what happened there. Oh yeah, it should have been for Ferrari, but anyway, Jappo is into the pits, so already a pit stop for the Ferrari slash Red Bull. Flanken and Babino Hermi fighting for, actually Sneaky and Flanken fighting for P7 and P8, Babino Hermi and Young Sarv in P9 and 10 respectively, and actually Young Sarv making a move just before turn 7. And let's see the tires now, because we have, let me check, okay, a lot of medium runners and barely any hard runners. The hard runners are, oh, actually Gerber making a move into P12, overtaking Waxel. The hard runners are the Saubers, Peter in P6 and Flanken in P8, Max in the Aston Martin in P17, and Jappo making a pit stop already on lap 1, I think it was on mediums, and went for hards. 30 seconds of Max, I definitely think he changed his front wing. But now Gerbal already with a brilliant start, because let's remember he was at the back of the grid and now takes the inside line for 130R, and they are still wheel to wheel throughout the entire corner, and Gerbal gets ahead beautifully just before the chicane. He's now in P11, a brilliant start for the Red Bull, just cutting through the field as if for nothing, but Falcon now gets the lead into turn 1 on the main straight. The RS has been already enabled for 1 lap, as now Aiden Jones has been overtaken. I'm losing my voice. Aaron Jones, he's now in P2, being overtaken by the McLaren. He will try to be as close as he can to get back into the lead, and we now actually see Rooster and Quaxel being overtaken by 2 cars at once. Tate as well being overtaken by Riz. Now the Williams is in P13, so many moves at the back of the grid. Obviously with Gerbal massive pace advantage, overtaking almost everyone, and Riz as well. He's definitely one of the fastest, so he needs to get past traffic as quickly as he can, because we have 2 separate DRS trains. The first one is from the lead to P7, and then from P8 to actually P12, so the lower midfield is now actually starting to be out of DRS range. Sneaky is all the way on Peter's gearbox now, just 3/10 behind him. Young Sam as well, trying to overtake Flanken as quickly as he possibly can. Falcon sets the fastest lap of the session, 30.9. Actually, Gerba set the fastest lap, but Aiden Jones, Aiden has a massive overspeed, but still cannot get past. Sneaky, Peter, Young Sav, Gerber and Flanken, many drivers exchanging position. Now Riz up in P12 just before the first corner, making a move on the House of Rooster, and Flanken with a massive stop oversteer through the S section, but he still kept it on track. The Sauber is still in P10. And let's remember, on the hard compound, so he will have a disadvantage now in the first stint, but he will make up for it later on. And Gerbal gets past just before the diagonal curves. We have yellow flags for Rooster. I think it's Rooster, yes. Rooster down into P16. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, massive front wing damage for the Haas. The half left front wing is almost entirely missing, so he will lose a lot of lap time. He now goes off the track as Max gets past very, very easily. So massive contact for the Haas, and he will now have to go back into the pits, and that's his result. Heavily compromised for this Japanese Grand Prix. Adrian Jones now just barely 2 tenths, and yellow flags again. Who is that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who was it. We'll stay back with Adrian Jones because now he has DRS, slightly using overtake and now getting past just before the first corner. He gets back into the lead, and now Kielander is loving the situation ahead of him because he is staying very, very close to the top 2, fighting for the race win. Quaxel and Tate as well exchanging position on straight. Now the Aston Martin is in P13. The top 5 though, very, very close. I think that's the closest train we have. All 5 of these drivers are separated by 2 to 3 tenths between each other. So everyone extremely, extremely fast around Japan, around Suzuka, and now we can see Rooster back into the pits, going on the hard tires, and definitely changing his front wing. Down in P18, Jappo in P17. Adrian Jones now in the lead. He will obviously try to build the gap as quick as he can because he does not want to be pressured by Falcon, because he's taking a lot of slipstream throughout the entire circuit. Into 130 yard they go. Slight lockup from Adrian Jones. Falcon trying to get the best line possible, now staying right behind him. DRS enabled. We will see an exchange of position, and Rooster spinning again as oh, now Kielander also making a move for P2. They go side by side through the first corner. The Williams of Adrian Jones and Mercedes for Kielander, they are still wheel to wheel. Who's gonna be ahead? Adrian Jones maintains P2 after Kielander tried a brilliant move, but it was not enough to get P2. And now Adrian Jones is still staying in second, and Mercedes right now still in third and fourth. Kielander, a very brave move, I have to say, into turn 1, but it was not enough. Not enough to get the second place out of the hands of Adrian Jones, who has now crucially lost a lot of time to Falcon ahead of him, because now the gap is 7 cents. You can gain them with the DRS, sure, but we have no guarantee it's gonna be enough. Now Gerbal is still making his way through the entire field. He's just overtaking everyone as he was nothing, as if they weren't even there. And Gerbal will still go side by side. Actually no, he gets past just before the apex of 130 yard. Three-time world champion is now in P7 and just barely out of DRS. Does he have DRS? Flanken in the meanwhile gets a 3-second penalty for track limits, and Gerbal just barely got back into the DRS, but Sneaky Guy with a massive overspeed, and Gerbal with a massive send. Despite the slower straight line speed, he still sent it into the first corner and defended P7 beautifully. Now it's gonna be just a matter of when he's gonna get past Peter just ahead of him in P6 with the hard compound. Falcon now, he definitely needs to use this chance to build a gap from Adrian Jones, because 8 tenths, now 9 tenths, he is very, very close to knocking out the Williams out of DRS, out of the 1 second gap, and this can be crucial for the race win. Now it is 1 second, so Adrian Jones will try to push as much as he can. He's burning energy, he does not have any training. It is raining already on lap 7. It is a very light rain. We are not sure if it's gonna get worse and we will get inters, or it's maybe just a passenger rain that will go away with the slicks. But now this is tricky and this is crucial for everyone, because the asphalt will get slippery by the second if the rain actually gets worse, and quite a big lockup from Falcon. I don't know if it was a visual glitch, but as we can see, no one is into the pits yet because this train is very light. Adrian Jones is not able to stay in DRS. He is now extremely slow on the straights as Kielander gets past very easily in P2. Now Adrian Jones, he will definitely be very mad about that one because he is now into P3 and needs to recover quite a lot of distance. Gerbal is now into P6, overtaking Peter very easily, but now he needs to recover 3.7 seconds of Allenby ahead of him, and look at that, he just gains 1/10 through every corner. He's just absolutely flying around here in Suzuka. Allenby now is extremely close. Falcon is on the gravel. Falcon going completely off track and he lost the lead. Now he's into P5. Kielander has got the lead of this race after Falcon's mistake into the Degner curves. He's now into P5. Everyone behind says thank you very much, and so does Gerbal, because now he's just 2.6 seconds. He's gaining at every possible corner, at every single second, and look at that. It's gonna be just a matter of time to see if he can get back into overtaking him. Rooster retires in the pit lane. The Haas driver decides it's too late to recover. I think it's never too late to recover, but I think it was too much for the Haas. And yes, DNF into the pit lane for him. Now Kielander will definitely be under pressure from everyone ahead. Although Aiden just lost 4 tenths all of a sudden into just one corner. Now Cam is getting all the slipstream he can, taking the outside line of so one, and this contact between the Aiden Jones and Cam. Aiden Jones' wing damage. He tried to get back P2 of Cam, but he actually hit the rear of the Mercedes. He now has wing damage, and this is going to be crucial. He's going to lose the DRS to Kielander ahead of him, and he's going to slow down massively all of the cars behind him, because now traffic management is going to be crucial. Oh, Falcon and Allenby touching each other, and Allenby with a massive snap over here. He is now into P5 and slightly further from Falcon, and now he's gonna feel the pressure from Gerbal creeping up on him in just 9 laps, already into P6. Now let's watch Falcon, because he tries to somewhat hanging around the outside, but we can see every driver is now struggling with traction at every single corner. The rain is getting heavier and the track is getting slippier by the second. And Aiden Jones, significant loss of downforce, making contact with Cam, and Falcon tries to stick it on the inside out of 130R. They go side by side through the straight, 3 wide with Aiden Jones as well. Is Falcon gonna attempt to move on the inside? Yes, he is. He gets back P2 and Cam gets overtaken around 130R. And now Gerbal is in P5. All of a sudden, Aiden Jones in P7, just losing so much time from the wing damage. Allenby with a massive snap. He now gets overtaken by Gerbal and Peter. He's now into P6. Gerbal in P4. Massive fights non-stop for the race win, as now Falcon and Cam go side by side. Cam on the inside of zone 1. Does he hang it now around the outside of zone 3? No, he doesn't. He has to back out, but Gerbal right behind him is gonna get past when he least expects it, and Kielander is loving this situation right behind him. 2.7 seconds from him and Falcon, so he's gonna try to keep it as consistent as he can to defend this race win. As we now approach, we are now in lap 10 and the rain is still there, and Aiden Jones is on inters. This can be a massive strategic choice, because I mean, yes, he had to fix the wing damage, but him being on inters might actually be a sign that the rain will get worse eventually. The thing is, we don't know if it's gonna get worse soon or later on, because Aiden Jones just needs to make these inters work, because He cannot afford to stop fixing his front wing, but we'll see in just a moment, because now we have Falcon and Cam battling around 130R, and Cam gets ahead very, very nicely, and now Gerbal staying all the way behind the gearbox of Falcon, still in P4. Now this is where he belongs, near the top of the field, and his main moves everywhere on the track. Now he gets the slipstream, Falcon claims back P2, and Gerbal as well is not gonna stand on the inside. He was too far back, so he's gonna have to settle for P4 and wait eventually. But Peter massively, we can see and that with 10 laps the hards are significantly faster than the mediums. He's gaining a lot of time on Gerbal, he has a lot more grip, he's riding much less than the medium runners ahead of him in these tricky dry and wet conditions. So watch out for Peter, because he's gonna put pressure on Auto Gyros. But now Cam and Gerbal fighting side by side through the hairpin, as actually Peter tries to almost stick it on the inside, but he didn't have enough momentum. So Arenby sees that as a perfect opportunity to try and get past. Yellow flags for Sneaky Guy at the exit of the hairpin, spinning. He is now in P9, probably even P10. And now we have these 5 cars from 6th to 2nd on the grid, and Cam will make the move again at 130R, and he actually goes side by side. I think they might have gone off track, I don't know, but Cam stays in P2, and Gerbal tries to stay behind as much as he can for that P3. Arenby gets past, they actually go side by side, Peter and Arenby on the main straight, but they both have DRS. Who's not gonna have DRS is Cam, who gets overtaken very easy by Falcon. Back into P2, and now just barely 2 tenths between each other, but Cam is making a very good job, doing a very good job trying to stay behind. But look at Gerbal, he's attempting kind of a switch back at every corner, trying to get the best exit possible, but look at how much they are sliding in these very light rain conditions. Many drivers are now going back, to the Inters. Aiden Jones, the youngest half, Baby No Harm, U-Division, Sneaky Guy as well. They are going on Inters. It might be a sign that the rain will get worse very soon. So these slick runners might actually be in trouble if the Inters are significantly faster. We'll keep the gap to the leader to see if they can actually gain. It actually gain a lot on the slick runners. So it's a 31.5 from Aiden Jones. He does not have traffic ahead of him, so we'll see if he's significantly faster. But Kieran now is back into the pits. Falcon as well, Cam as well, double stack for Mercedes, Gerbal into the pits, Cam lock in the rear. Okay, now it is definitely the time for Inters. Everyone is back into the pits for those intermediate tires in the rain that is getting worse. And Falcon, I think he might have lost some time with the traffic there in the pit lane, but look at that. Absolute mayhem into the pit lane. Quattro and Tate are staying out still on all mediums. They got P1 and P2 now, but it's definitely not gonna last. It's definitely not gonna last, because now the slicks will be significantly slower than the Inters. So that's the sign that with this light rain you need those treaded tires to be as fast as you can. But DRS is still enabled. Usually when DRS is disabled and the track is officially declared wet, that's usually the sign you want to go back into the pits and change tires. But right now DRS is still enabled, so but I don't think it's gonna be long enough before we see that change. Now Falcon is in P3 and effectively in the lead of the race, making a move on Kelander just before the spoon. And we are on lap 13 out of 27, so the first half of the race is done. 50% of the race is officially done, and it is the McLaren of Falcon effectively in the lead. As I'm sure we'll see the Aston Martin of Quaxel and the McLaren of Tate into the pits right now. Quaxel is in and Tate is in. Peter gets a penalty, 3 seconds penalty for track limits, and that's obviously gonna go against him in the later results, because he now does not have the chance anymore to properly attack Allenby. Cam fell behind quite a lot now. He's in P6, and he definitely needs to gain a lot of time, and also very quickly to get back into those top steps. Aiden Jones as well, despite the very small tire difference, he's gaining on Reese, and now we can see the droplets of rain falling exactly on the track, so the rain is definitely getting worse. Inters are definitely the right size, but Jappo is still on the hards and is riding all over the S section. We might have a crash soon. We might see a Red Bull into the barrier soon if he keeps driving like that. Because right now the slicks are definitely not the way to go. I mean, we can just see that it's not the right way. So Falcon is still defending very good from Kirana behind him, 2.8 seconds. But Gerbal is now, after the 50% of the race, he is now into P2. He now gets past with DRS still enabled. He gets past Kelander. Allenby gets past as well. Now the Haas is on the podium, and Kelander will definitely try to stay behind them and to not lose space, because he cannot afford, even with the rain, you cannot afford to lose DRS as long as it's still enabled. You cannot afford to be outside of the 1 second gap. These are crucial moments, although it looks like Kelander doesn't actually have that much pace in him after the rain came. He's already out of the 1 second gap, which leaves Allenby as the only driver currently able to attack Gerbal. Gerbal, who is in P2 now, mathematically now Gerbal is the driver world champion for the 4th time in a row, but still 13 laps to go. Still too early to judge. Nothing is confirmed. Now Jappo, yeah, completely going over the white line. I mean, he's still on the hards for some reason, and he's losing a lot of time. But Aiden Jones is all the way down to P13. I must have missed that. Oh, Aiden Jones pitted for new inters. I definitely missed that. He's now into P13 with a slight tire advantage. I thought it was going off track, but it was only lag. So yeah, an extra pit stop for Aiden Jones, as he apparently opted for a slight tire advantage. Cam gets past Peter, now he's in P5. Youngest Harvey into the pits and Flanken with a 3-second time penalty. I think he might have been in second one. Youngest Harvey, he's not changing the front wing, he's also opting for a tire advantage on fresh inters. And now the question is, will everyone do that? Because like maybe the inters like this are not able to go to the end, or maybe because it will become full wet. We don't know exactly. I mean, the weather report is only up to the drivers to know, but at the same time it can be unpredictable anytime everything can happen. But DRS is now disabled. The track is now officially declared wet. So this should probably be the sign for Japo to finally pit, because he's still on 14 laps all hards. So he's now effectively in last when he pits. And look at those gaps. We have very, very big gaps at the top of the field. Gerbal 3.2 seconds from Felkan. Kielander 5.7 seconds from Gerbal. Allenby 8 tenths and Peter 4 tenths. Like, these three are the closest ones. But let's remember DRS has been disabled, and Japo retired. Japo has crashed. Japo has crashed out of the spoon. Yes, we can see the Red Bull there. Out of the spoon corner, we have a full core safety car, and this is crucial. The full core safety car is out on track. Many drivers, the top 8 missed the pit lane entry, and from below the top 8, everyone can go back into the pits for fresh inserts. And this has changed the thing quite a lot. Youngest half stays out. He had the fresh inserts from a lap earlier. And look at that, yeah, the rain definitely got much worse than it was before, and Japo left. Japo left the session. Oh well, yeah, he crashed. As I said, a crash was just bound to happen. Staying out on slicks for no reason. I have no idea why he did that. And Aston Martin, I mean, it hurts me to say that, but they are again back in the mud. P15 and P16 last on the grid again. I hate to say this, but it just happens too often with these two. But I definitely hope after the safety car they can gain back positions. Let's go to watch the top runners. Felkan is pitting, Gerbal is pitting, Kielander in, Allenby in as well, Peter in, Cam in, Reese pitting, and now we just have Flanken pitting as well. Well, yeah, because they were not gonna get overtaken, so the tire advantage you just could not decline that. If you don't get overtaken by anyone, you don't turn down a tire advantage if you don't lose position. So fresh inserts for the entirety of the grid, and Felkan stays right behind the safety car. He is the leader of the race, and he will lead the restart eventually when we approach probably lap 19, as I'm predicting looking at the map. Mr. Spy is here in chat. Jasper, who is Jasper? Is it Japo? I don't know. Okay. So Kielander has caught up, so is Allenby and Peter as well, Reese as well, Cam as well, so just Flanken now. Flanken now will be the next one to approach the safety car train, we could call it that. And look at that, the track is significantly wet now. I mean, not significantly in the terms of full wet, but just, and oh, Flanken and Cam disconnected. Max as well. Peter as well. Is it a lobby crash? Did the lobby crash? I hope it didn't, but like 4 cars disconnecting at the same time. I'm not in the league, I'm just an engineer. Okay. Don't know what you mean by that, but anyway. So now youngest half as well has caught up. Well, actually, I'm gonna like check Discord to see if there's been a crash lobby or something, or if it's just disconnecting. Yeah, now some jammers are on AI. They are chatting on Discord. Reese said people are disconnecting. Not everyone, but some. It was just four. Just 4 drivers disconnecting. The worrying part is that they did at the same time. So I'm hoping they can get back into the lobby as quick as they can, because I think safety car might be in this lap. Okay. Oh, you're Mr. Oh, okay. I thought like you were calling me Mr. Spy or something. I didn't understand it. Okay, so yeah, I get what you do. I get what you do now. I just didn't quite understand that at first. I'm here for incel. Okay, that's understandable. We are checking, yeah. Ferrari engineer moment. Okay, I'm looking at this rain. To me, it looks like it's getting worse. Like, I don't know if I'm mistaken, but I might have seen some paddles on track. Safety car will still stay out, so one more lap under yellow flags conditions. Peter is joined, I think Flanken as well joined, so yeah, they're getting back into the lobby. Max as well, okay, everything. Oh, Alien just is pitting! Why is Aiden pitting? Is he on AI? Why is he pitting? Under safety car, he's now into PC. Full wets? Oh! Full wets. The rain is getting... Oh, okay. This might actually be a genius move from Aiden Jones. He lost the positions under safety car, pitting for full wets, but like I thought, the rain is indeed getting worse, and Alien Jones feels like the full wets are faster. And this might be crucial, because safety car will definitely be in this lap, and it's gonna be absolute chaos if everyone else on inserts are gonna pit for full wets under green flags. Alien Jones then might just get the overtake done on absolutely everyone. Okay, this is a very big gamble. It's gonna be crucial to see if Aiden Jones is significantly faster on those full wets, because to me it does indeed look like the rain is getting worse. So it's a very important strategic choice from Aiden. We're gonna have to eventually find out if that's the right choice or not. Safety car in this lap. We have 7 laps of racing under the rain, which we are still yet to understand if it's inters conditions or wet conditions. And Falcon will be the one leading all of this group right behind him. But it's gonna be crucial to see if Aiden Jones will be faster. But now Falcon has gone, the race has officially restarted, and Gerbal is just 5/10 of Falcon. Visibility is getting very, very low now. This might be the sign that full wets are now faster. Gerbal already gaining a lot of time through turn 1, and now just barely 4/10 behind Falcon. And the Inters, I mean, they're sliding a lot. They're sliding very, very, very often. It might be the sign that full wets are actually faster, and I'm seeing a lot of spray from the Inters. Now Sneaky and Tate fighting. Oh, Tate is on AI. I don't think he joined back. Now he did. Falcon is still defending the lead. Gerbal right behind, and Kielander and Pizza fighting. Actually no, it was Reese and Pizza fighting for position side by side at the hairpin, and Reese stays on the outside but gets the better exit. He's now into P5. It would have been P5 anyway, because Pizza, let's remember, he has 3 seconds of penalties and 6 seconds from for his teammate Flanken, who will be out of the points with those 6 seconds. But now Gerbal, just 2 tenths. Oh, Falcon going slightly wide at 130R. I think he might have bottomed out on the curb on the exit, I'm not sure. But Gerbal is gaining significantly on Falcon, but they are on the same tire, so this is just pure driver pace advantage. Gerbal is now getting all the streets he can, using energy, but he does look like he has quite a lot of downforce on his car. He's quite slow on the straight compared to Falcon. But Alien Jones, he's 2.7 seconds behind U Division. It actually looks like those full wets are not working properly. Four tenths now separating Gerbal and Falcon. Reese as well, just 3 to 2 tenths behind Kielander. U Division penalty, track limits penalties for U Division. So that's 3 seconds for the Alpine. Now Reese is trying everything he can to get past Kielander. And he definitely needs to get a good run out of the spoon. But it does look like they get a somewhat equal exit. But Gerbal is gaining more. What about Reese? Reese, no, he still stays behind. So they didn't actually get the overspeed they were looking for to get an overtake down on the straight. So Gerbal and Reese, respectively, they have to still settle for P2 and P5. Reese is staying all over the back. Oh, Youngest Server has retired on track, retired just at the pit lane entrance. So DNF for the Ferrari. For some reason he just didn't want to go on. Reese now, it looks like he's getting significantly closer to Kielander. But he's also getting some understeer. Might have been the dirty air from Kielander just ahead of him. I mean, as well, the reduced grip from the wet conditions. But he's still there. Still trying to... snap oversteer. Taking the curb on the inside of Degner 2. And he's trying to hang in it now on the inside. Massive send. Trying to keep a higher momentum just before the hairpin, and he gets the move done. Reese is now in P4 with a beautiful move on Kielander. Mercedes, who was looking forward to settle for P3 and P4, now are actually settling for P5 and P6, which compared to their starting position is Kielander for the same. Kielander is the same, but Cam was starting in P2, so definitely not what he wanted from this race result. Now we stay with Gerbal, with the cameras on the Red Bull, because right now, as he stands, he will be the world champion. And he's just 3/10 behind Falcon in the lead. Baby and Holm is staying very close to Peter. They are actually staying side by side as Baby and Holm gets ahead. Yes, there was some slight contact, but actually, oh, Peter is almost trying to hang it during the inside line. But no, Baby and Holm makes the move. Him P9 currently, Peter outside of the points with his penalty. Or actually easy outside of the points. He's not actually, he's still staying in P10. There is also Falcon, who is quite close to Cam, just 2/10 between the two of them. But again, it won't matter because unlike his teammate, Flanken has 6 seconds of penalties. I think Flanken will drop out of the points after his double track limits penalties. So definitely not what the Sauber was looking for. So Gerbal now 2/10. He cannot get past the McLaren as he stands now. And it looks like we are approaching the last 3 laps of this Japanese Grand Prix. Still staying in P2, 3/10 now between the two of them. Flanken gets yet another penalty. Now it's 9 seconds for the Sauber driver. And we can see now with the rain, the Inters definitely were the right choice. Adrian Jones just made the worst possible choice with the full wets. It looked like a big gamble where he thought he would have had a lot to gain, but he actually had a lot to lost. The pole sitter is now down to P15 and with a track limit penalty. But the pole sitter, who was looking very strong and was fighting for the lead, for the win in the first stint, for a strategy error and the safety car, is now all the way down in P15. The rain just ruined his results quite a lot. But not because of low grip, just because of strategy. If it wasn't for that strategy, it would have been very important points for Williams, because now Williams are actually gonna be a step behind in the standings. They will still get P2 ahead of Ferrari, but there will be a bigger gap between Red Bull and Williams, which was not what they were looking for. They definitely needed to capitalize on Red Bull not scoring that many points today, or like scoring a lot but with just one driver. So definitely not what they wanted if they wanted to get the Constructors' Championship. So yeah, not the best race for Williams. If we I mean, Rees is doing a solid job, solid result. But overall, if we look at the overall performance, with it in P15, not exactly the weekend Williams wanted. So they're gonna have to gain that back in the next 2 races if they still want to have a shot. Now we have been with the cameras on Gerbal for quite a while now, because we are on the penultimate lap of this Japanese Grand Prix. And Gerbal, despite being arguably the fastest driver around the track, he has still been stuck behind Falcon for a lot of time. Just staying behind, but not exactly getting the move done. So just 18 points for Gerbal. Actually, who has the fastest lap? Gerbal. So 19 points as it stands for Gerbal. So Gerbal might not get the race win, but let's remember, 19 points is more than enough to secure the championship. As it stands now, ladies and gentlemen, Gerbal is indeed a 4-time world champion. It's not official yet. We have to wait for the last lap. We have to wait for those 5.8 kilometers under the rain here in Suzuka, as Adrian Jones is actually crashed at the spoon, but no safety car because we are approaching the last lap, and the cameras are all on Gerbal on the last lap. There really isn't much you can say about his drive and his career. Completely dominated the entire F1 23 game cycle. He won in season 1 with 59 points. He won in season 2 with 78 points. In season 2 against that same driver he is now behind. He won season 3 with 123 points, again battling with that same driver he's chasing right now. The gaps might be smaller. Season 4 definitely became a lot more competitive. There were a lot of drivers who improved quite a lot, who were able to actually try and challenge Gerbal for quite many times, but in the end it was not enough. It was never enough, because at the end it is always him, the Polish driver in the Red Bull. Falcon wins in Japan, but now it is official. We can say that Gerbal is now officially a 4-time world champion here in Sunday League F1. 4 championships in a row, and the only world champion in this league for now 4 seasons in a row. Just like Sebastian Vettel from 2012 to 2013, now Gerbal has officially claimed the 4th title in a row under the rain here in Suzuka. And what else can we say? With this level of domination, you can just admire the skill of this driver. He started last. He started in P17. He went through the entire grid as if it was nothing. And I repeat, nothing. Just complete domination. There is nothing you can do against Gerbal as he completely dominates the Japanese Grand Prix. It is Falcon who gets those 25 points. Falcon as well. What a season he's doing. Now in P2, just behind Gerbal, but now it is officially done. Gerbal has done it. 4 titles in a row. He is making history in the league. And so it's gonna be even more special when someone eventually gets the championship from him. And the thing is, we don't know when will it happen, because with this driving right here, we have no idea how many seasons he's gonna dominate, but he has done it once again. Gerbal, the Polish driver, previously for what was it? I think it was Aston Martin in season 1. Yes, it was Aston Martin in season 1. It was Aston Martin in season 2. It was Alpha Tauri in season 3. And now it is Red Bull in season 4. There is nothing you can do against the Polish superstar who gets 4 championships in a row. And wow, what a driver, I have to say. And we are truly impressed. Congratulations to him. Wonderful job. And he absolutely deserved that title. Constructors is still open between Red Bull and Williams, so we are still off for a fight in the next 2 races. The next 2 races, which will actually be, let me check real quick, Spain and the legendary Interlagos in Brazil in 2 weeks time, but the next one will be Spain. So yeah, this has been the Japanese Grand Prix, a race that was what was it, like 7 laps without the rain. Then the rain came, but still some drivers stayed on the slicks. Then the rain came, and just like real life, many championships were decided in Japan. Some of them were decided under the rain, and once again, this is the same case in Sunny League F1, in League Racing, where the cars are fake, but the racing is real. So once again, congratulations to Gerbal, and I will now say goodbye to you, because we will see each other next week for the Spanish Grand Prix. Drivers title, it is over, but obviously many drivers fighting for the best position they can get, in the likes of Felkan, Cam, Rees, Adrian Jones, Allenby, many drivers trying to climb the standings as high as they can. But then we will obviously be very eager to see who gets the better results between Red Bull and Williams. But until next time, it's goodbye from me, BS Gabri. We will see you again next week in Spain. Goodbye everyone, and have a nice week.